I'm gonna ask you, like, do you wanna be like the exclusive chick with Karl Lagerfeld and Chanel and have the bag that matches that? Or do you wanna be like, the fit model who Zara could offer a position tomorrow, next week it could be Walmart, next week it could be, I don't know, some new nameless brand that nobody's ever heard of? Which one do you wanna be? Am I going to be good at everything? Or am I going to be the master of one particular thing? And when I heard her say this, I was like, girl, I know this story. I have lived this story. I have receipts. I know this story so well because I was a young woman in New York City. I know she's still young, but listen to me. I was a young person in New York City. This was back in my late 20s, early 30s. And I was doing a lot of things that I was pretty good at. I had a business at the time in social entrepreneurship. I was pretty good at that business. We were invited by prestigious organizations to do things around the world. I found myself in Rwanda working on a project that kind of went sideways, and it really forced a sharp question to me. Is this the work that I'm doing the kind of work that I have a shot at being the best in the world? Do I have a shot? Do you have a shot in this thing that you're doing that's one of many amazing things that you're so good at? But do you actually have a shot at being one of the few, maybe the only, the best in the world? And I have to tell you, the answer to that question, it made me so uncomfortable because number one, I realized like I didn't have the passion for it that way. The way that I was being tested helped me understand, girl, you don't got the metal to go with this all the way. And number two, you're not the kind of person, because you don't have a love for it, who will stick with this thing and ride it to the end, to be the North Star, to be like the Serena Williams of this field, right? And when I understood that, I was like, okay, let's take a step back. What is the one thing that I can master and I have a shot at being the very, very best in the world? You want to know what that thing is? That thing made me pack up my entire life in New York at the time and do something that people were like, okay, she's always been different, but now she's really kind of lost her head. What is she thinking? I moved to the middle of like cornfields, Iowa, don't know nobody over here, okay? Shout out to my man because he was like, I'ma support you. This is wild, but like, I'ma support you. And okay, like, let me not play it up all that way because the honest truth is this is a very prestigious place to go if you're serious about writing. I got into the Iowa Writers Workshop, but it came at a moment in my life where it seems like a bizarre crossroads because I had been trained to go this other direction. And like I'm telling you, I already had a business and we were making some traction. What the fuck was I doing taking this left turn? Talking about like, I'm gonna be a writer, I'm gonna be a storyteller. People were like, oh, you write? That's a thing that you do? And what I had to be clear with for myself is, yes, I'm good at a lot of things, but the one thing that I know I am excellent at, bar none, is storytelling. Whether we're talking about storytelling on the stage or whether we're talking about storytelling on the page, like written word. And I'm not saying like, I'm always going to be a Serena Williams every single day. Hello, Serena Williams doesn't wake up as Serena Williams every single day. She got to put in the reps. What I am saying is making that choice in that moment. And I remember what it was like when I went to Iowa for the very first time. It was spring, and visiting classes and having this deep feeling in my body that this is the path. This is what I'm supposed to do. The gifts that I have, they make sense for this particular path. And understanding that this is a narrow path. This is not a path that's like for everybody and everybody's gonna understand, right? This is something that I feel called to do. And so I just wanna ask you, are you like gonna be happy forever to be the person who's good at everything versus the person who masters one particular thing and goes really deep in that mastery. If I'm honest with myself, and also why I had kept this kind of a secret even from myself, that writing is the thing that I love so deeply, and it is the one thing that I feel, yeah, I have a shot, like I could be the very best in the world. That secret from myself around storytelling and what I was doing when I was like, oh, I'm good at so many different things. What I was doing is I was hedging, right? I was playing this game of like, but I've still got this secret weapon at the back of my pocket, which means I wasn't allowing myself to be completely seen, trying with this one thing that I know, like after this, I don't have any cards. Like if I end up failed as like the worst writer in the world, I don't have any more cards. There's nothing, like I'm not gonna bust out somewhere and be like, oh, I could also be an NBA player. And what I know about me in that moment when I wanted to be good at everything but the master of none, is underneath all of that was this like subterranean fear that all of the things that I am good at least I have something in the ring. It's like you're keeping multiple things on the stove and you're hoping that some of them takes, like one of these things is gonna be the thing, but it comes at a cost. And that's what I learned the hard way when I went on this trip in Rwanda, and it forced me in a way that was honestly very painful, and in a way that came with some deep mental health, like, oh, what's happening right now? Here's what I know. What I know is in that moment, I was forced to see myself and to be honest with myself and to be honest about the cost of what it takes out of you to keep trying to be good at many things as opposed to just great at one thing. It was costing me not just the clarity of like, okay, let's buckle in and let's really go for this one particular thing, but girl, it also costs you this thing that you're not even thinking about. You will never, ever, ever be known for anything if you're not known for the one thing. You will never make anybody's shortlist of here's the people that we think of when we think of superstars in this particular field, because you're not a superstar at any one of those things. You're super good at many things. And who wants super good when they're looking for a shortlist of the superstars? It's not gonna be your name on there. I'm sorry. When people play the association game of if you want this, then you should call XY person. When people think about that, I had to be really honest with myself and say they come up short. When people are playing that game of like a word association, nothing comes up. My name probably even doesn't come up in the first incidence. Never mind like associating it with 1, 2, 3. Like I said, when you're good at so many things, you're not even making the shortlist. So when people play the mind association of like, oh, I want somebody who is the best at X, they can't even reach for your name, because that game only works when you are known for one thing. Here is the T. The thing we tell ourselves that there's strategy behind, I'm known for all of these different things, I can do so many different things. Girl, that shit is not strategy. It's fear. And it's time to be honest about what that fear is costing you. You do not owe anybody proof that you are good at everything. You owe yourself the proof that you are good at one thing and being associated with that one thing. When people think about, oh, she's really good at fill in the blank. What do those people use just one word to describe you? Oh, Mahohodi? Yeah, she's a really good storyteller. Let me know in the comments what that one word is, what that one word that you want them to feel when they say your name, if it's not something that you're living right now. What is that one word? Drop it in the comments. I read all of the comments. I'm always excited to hear from you. And I also want to ask you, have you subscribed to this channel? Because let me tell you one thing, okay? I am here to give you value. My name is Mahohodi. and I help you speak up for your excellence, because your excellence is not going to speak for itself. And let me tell you, that is your job. Opening up your mouth and speaking for your excellence is your job. And quietly excellent, that is basically synonymous with quietly broke. I don't want that to be you. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know one word that you want to or are already associated with.